Yeah, ultimately, there are 5 models that are put forth for this Earth, and not one of them can adequately explain reality. Not yet.
Houston, we have a problem.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism back with another video for you today. First, an apology to those who have been waiting for Please Explain It to Me Volume 2. That is coming up next, so have no fear. But I wanted to get this out first. It's also late, and this video stems from a conversation we had on Globebusters. We had a little talk with Max Igan, and you may know him from The Crow House. He also has made some awesome movies, so check those out. The Awakening, The Calling, Transformation. But he's got a great message, and he doesn't think too highly of the Flat Earth. You can find him in the link below, so if you want to watch his stuff. Also, you can find his interview on Globebusters in the link below as well. He tells us that he thinks the Flat Earth is a circular argument, and that it can't be proven. So let me let you hear his version of the story first, and then we'll be back to talk about his conversation on Globebusters and a little flight anomaly that he experienced when flying from Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, when I identified the whole Flat Earth Globe Earth debate as being a psyop, I wasn't saying that one side was particularly true. I was saying that the movement is being played as a divisive mechanism. It's being played as a psyop. You know, it's a psychological operation. It's being used to divide the community. And if you just look at what this movement has done, it's at loggerheads. It's put everybody at loggerheads with each other because you've got two sides stating an absolute. And everybody's arguing. If you listen to the Flat Earthers and the Globe Earthers talking to each other, each one of them is saying, you can't prove the Earth's flat. And the Globe Earthers are saying, prove the globe. That's their whole baseline when it comes down to it, is prove the globe. Yeah, ultimately, there are 5 models that are put forth for this Earth, and not one of them can adequately explain reality. Not yet. You know, the jury's still out as far as I'm concerned. And I get accused of people put out videos saying Max Igan lying shill for the ball Earth because I don't agree that the Earth is flat, because I'm not able to take a position, because as far as I'm concerned, the jury's still out on all the models. There isn't one model, like I said, that explains reality adequately, and no model that answers all of the things that are here. So why am I expected to take a position, and why am I accused of having a position simply because I won't take on someone else's belief system? You know what I'm saying? So you get involved in this circular paradoxical argument. It's an argument that's completely paradoxical, and you can't ever win the argument. No one can win from either side, because each side is demanding absolutes when there are no absolutes.
So he sees it as a psyop. He says it's a paradoxical argument. But he also noticed something very interesting on his recent flight from Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia. First off, he did show us that the flight exists, so we thank him for that. And second, he showed us a rather interesting anomaly that perhaps is a significant detail in the entire globe versus flat debate. So let's pick up the conversation that was on Globebusters and see what he's got to say and what his video shows.
Actually share something else with you regarding that flight, which I found unusual, which I'm sure you will get something of interest from. And I don't know what it means, but this is what happened. Someone said to me, make sure you take your compass next time. So I did. I took a compass with me. I have a very good compass. I could turn my camera on and show it to you if you want. I could actually show you the video of this little particular section of the flight if you want it. And it was about maybe more, 5, 6, 7 hours, 8, I don't know, a fair bit in the flight. I've been asleep for about 5 hours, and I woke up and I'm quite groggy. It was daylight all the way back, flying all the way back from South America. It was daylight. If you look at the map, you take a southwestern route, then you go west, and then you take a northwestern route as you come back up to Sydney from when you cross over just before you get to New Zealand. You sort of start going north again, northwest.
So as we look at the Great Circle route that you would take going from Chile, Santiago, Chile, across the Pacific Ocean all the way to Sydney, Australia, you would take this route, which is exactly as he said. You would start out first going south or southwest, and then you would take a little portion of it going west, and then you would go northwest. So that would be the lineup.
I was looking at their compass, and their compass at one particular point was reading northwest, and my compass was reading west-southwest. And my compass stayed reading west-southwest for the entire journey, the entire journey that I was awake anyway.
So just to kind of show what he was saying, he said every time he checked his compass, he was getting a southwest reading, which a flat Earth would show, and on the on-screen video display on the back seat of the seat in front of him was showing a northwest, as the globe would show. He had been asleep for 5 hours, he said, but when he woke up, the plane was showing the portion of the trip as northwest, but his compass was showing a different reading of southwest. He also claimed that his compass remained in the southwest position for the entire remainder of his flight, and then he went home and checked the compass against many others, a digital compass and another compass, and said his compass was working fine. So we'll listen to the rest of this and watch the video of him showing us exactly what anomaly he found.
But I was asleep for 5 hours during the journey, but every time I checked my compass, it was pointing south-southwest, and I find that a bit strange that I would be flying south-southwest all the way from Santiago to Sydney. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. So that's a weird thing. Whether there's some weird electromagnetic interference in the plane that's causing my compass to do weird things, I don't know. But I took the compass. I took a little video of the compass on the screen, and I compared it with my compass sitting on the table, pointing directly straight ahead to the nose of the plane, and I was getting a different reading. So that's something that may interest you.
Well, that's amazing, Max. I mean, if you look at the Gleason's map, if you were traveling, you would be going west-southwest the entire way. So, I mean, those are the kind of things that are important because they are not possible on a globe. And so these are the kind of things, when you say it's not provable, you just kind of proved it, that something is wrong.
No, I didn't prove anything. What I offered you was an interesting piece of information.
Right.
Should you put
Okay.
Right. Which we will add to our preponderance of evidence, and that's beautiful, and we appreciate that.
I can actually play, and for people out there that are saying, "What are you saying this for, Max?" Can you turn my screen on? Would you like me to share that particular video with you?
I would love it.
The next 2 or 3 minutes of this video were us trying to get Max to share his screen. So again, if you want to see the entire interview and this 3 minutes of downtime, you can click the link below. Otherwise, we're fast forwarding to when he finally got his video showing for everyone in the Hangout. So here you go.
Play the video now. Tell me if you can see this, okay?
When it gives you a bunch of options, click the entire screen button. Do you see one that says
Full screen.
Yeah, full screen, then click OK. And then try playing it so you can see it, and we'll be able to see it.
Can you see now? Let's see. Can you see
Yeah, folks, I've been asleep for about 5 hours.
There you go.
We got it.
And now, as you can see,
So here we can clearly see that the plane is in the portion of the flight that it's turning northwest, as seen by the on-screen display.
daylight all the way. As you can see, it's mostly cloud. Here's the problem. That's the reading that I'm getting.
So as we can see here, as he said, in the radar or on the on-screen display, clearly the plane is traveling northwest, according to the flight tracker.
I'm getting a different reading from my compass. Most business compass around. The reading stays the same. So they're giving me a reading of northwest. They're giving me a map direction of northwest. But on my compass, I'm getting a reading to southwest.
So, as you can see, the compass is clearly showing southwest or west-southwest, and the on-screen display is showing it is going northwest. Quite a large anomaly.
So let's do that again.
That kid must have been fun for 11 hours.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that on the Gleason's map, and that would tend to agree with the flat Earth map, Max's compass readings, wouldn't it, Jaron?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would be a southwest from Santiago to Auckland, or that would be southwest pretty much the whole time.
Interesting.
And that's what I keep going back to, is that a whole idea of a great circle. They say you have to travel in that kind of a arc path, which is just not true. You could draw a straight line between Auckland and New Zealand and travel the straight line.
So there you go.
Well, thank you for that, Max.
Thank you for that.
Not a problem. How do I screen sharing?
I'll stop. Okay. You're off.
That's interesting. So you see, I'm open to things, you know. But that's interesting. Yeah. I found that interesting discrepancy. What caused it? I don't know. Is there a problem with my compass? I don't know. I spin it around. It looked all right. I don't know. I checked it with another compass when I got home. It looked good. I checked it with a digital compass. It looked good. I don't know. That's what it gave me. So that's something interesting.
It is. It's very interesting because, you know, when you look at it on the Gleason's map, it would tend to agree with the flat Earth model. Now, are we going to say that's conclusive? Nope, but it's an interesting tidbit for sure. Very interesting to see that.
The flight from Sydney to Santiago is 11.5 hours. The flight back is around about 14.5 because you're accounting for headwind.
So, as you can see, something is clearly weird about that particular flight, which seems to show northwest as the intended path of the flight, yet Max clearly showed, at least that portion of the flight was showing southwest on his compass, and he claims that it showed southwest the entire time he was awake. Let me show you a flat Earth map so you can get an idea of why that's a big deal. Now, as you heard Bob say, this is not necessarily proof, it's just something that's very interesting and worth mentioning. Now, let me look at the flight as it would take place here on the Gleason's map. Now, again, none of us are claiming that this Gleason's map is exactly correct. We're not claiming that the sizes of the continents are correct or the distances between them. It's just something to give us an idea if we're looking at a flat Earth kind of model. You can see the black line being the flight's path if it were on a flat Earth. And if you look at the lines that have the green on them, those are lines where the plane would be flying northwest. The line with the purple would be flying about west, and then all the yellow lines would be flying southwest. So the interesting thing there is, when Max said that the second half of his trip, the entire time he was awake, his compass was showing southwest, that would make sense with all the yellow lines, as you see. Remember, north is relative to where you're at, with south behind you, so that's what those little pink lines show us. And as you can see, all the yellow lines are actually a southwest flight direction, where on a globe he should have been going northwest. And that's the anomaly that he found.